Every night your cat makes a decision that goes against instinct. Sleep is when they're most defenseless, and they choose to do it beside you. But it isn't the position that means something, it's what changes. Here's how to read it. And the three changes worth a vet call. 1. Why does my cat sleep with me? Let's clear up the first myth, and it's the one most of these videos get backwards. They'll tell you it has nothing to do with warmth. That's not true. Cats are heat seekers by design. They're descended from desert animals, and a warm body is genuinely appealing. Ask around, and you'll find owners whose cats made a beeline for the heated pad the day it arrived. So warmth is real, it's just not the whole story. Because sleep is the one moment a cat can't defend itself. And where they sleep is a decision about safety, not just temperature. When a cat settles beside you, they're accepting a level of exposure they wouldn't accept anywhere they felt uneasy. And there's research behind that instinct. A 2019 study at Oregon State University, published in Current Biology, ran cats through the same secure base test used on human infants. Time with their person, a short separation, then a reunion. Around 2/3 of the cats behaved like securely attached infants. They used their owner as a base of safety and settled quickly once she returned. Worth saying, honestly, not every study agrees, and a British group using a similar method found no comparable attachment. The science here is real, but still argued over. What isn't argued over is the practical part. A cat who sleeps exposed beside you is a cat who feels safe, which means the night that stops is information. And we'll come back to that. What to do. When they settle, don't scoop them up, don't reposition them, don't turn it into a moment. Cats who get handled every time they settle, stop settling. Stay still and let them commit. 2. Why does my cat rub its face on me before lying down? Watch the seconds right before your cat lies down. The cheek against your arm, the forehead pushed into your hand. Then, and only then, they settle. We read that as a cuddle. It is affection, but there's a mechanism underneath it. Cats carry scent glands along the cheeks, the chin, the forehead, and the base of the tail. And every press leaves a chemical marker you'll never smell. Cats who live together groom and rub against each other constantly, blending their smells into one shared group scent. That shared smell is how a colony recognizes its own. So when your cat presses their face into you and then sleeps against you all night, they're folding you into that shared smell. You're not being cuddled, you're being included. What to do? Stop erasing it. Go easy on heavy perfume and strongly scented detergent on your bedding. And don't wash every blanket your cat uses on the same day. Leave one alone. And when they press their forehead into you, hold still and let them finish. 3. What does my cat's sleeping position mean? Now the part everyone wants and the part I want to be straight with you about. The tight curl, tail wrapped, paws tucked, belly hidden, conserves heat and keeps the vulnerable parts covered. It's the most common sleeping position in cats, and on its own it means very little. A cat can curl because the room is cool, because the house is noisy, or because that's simply how they've always slept. The full sprawl, belly up, legs out is the opposite. The belly is the least protected part of a cat's body, and a cat who exposes it while asleep isn't braced for anything. That one genuinely does signal comfort. Then there's sleeping with their back to you, and the full contact press where they wedge into your side with no air between you. Owners read a lot into these. She's turned her back on me. He can't get close enough. Honestly, those readings are plausible and widely repeated, but nobody has demonstrated them. What we can say is that cats are creatures of pattern who return to the spot and the posture that has felt safe before. So here's the useful frame. And it's the one the rest of this video runs on. Your cat's normal is the data, not the position itself. A cat who has curled tightly for 6 years isn't telling you anything by curling tonight. A cat who sprawled belly up for 6 years and has curled tight all week is. What to do? Spend 1 week noticing where and how your cat sleeps and remember it. That's your baseline. Everything that follows depends on having one, including the one posture that isn't about comfort at all. 4. When is my cat's sleeping position a warning sign? This is the section worth staying for because there's a posture that looks almost exactly like the tight curl and isn't. The cat isn't curled, the cat is hunched, the back is arched upward, the head is held low, the abdomen is tucked and tense, the body is rigid, and critically, they don't move. A curled cat is loose and rearranges through the night. A hunched cat holds one position and stays there. That posture has a name in veterinary practice, abdominal guarding, and it's a recognized sign of pain. Veterinary sources, including VCA and Cornell, describe the hunched, tucked abdomen posture as a common presentation of abdominal pain, and it shows up with conditions like pancreatitis, urinary problems, and other abdominal disease. There's a second change that matters just as much, and it's the opposite one. A cat who feels unsafe being seen stops sleeping in the open. Cats evolve to conceal weakness, and a cat in pain will abandon their usual spot for somewhere enclosed and dark, under the bed, inside a closet, behind furniture. Owners almost always describe this to me the same way. He's just got more independent lately. Sudden, persistent hiding in a cat who used to sleep with you is a symptom until a vet says otherwise. What to do? Read the trend, not the night. One odd night means nothing. A week of rigid hunching, refusing to stretch, or going off food means a vet visit. And one absolute rule, a male cat who is straining in the litter box and producing nothing is a same-day emergency. A urethral blockage kills in hours, not days. Don't wait until morning to see if he improves. 5. Why does my cat wake me up at the same time every morning? They wind down when you wind down. They're awake 90 seconds before your alarm. Most people call that routine, but something more interesting happened. By nature, cats are crepuscular. Their activity peaks around dawn and dusk because that's when hunting was best. Left to themselves, their clock barely overlaps with ours. And yet research on household cats, including a 2013 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, found that cats living closely with their owners shifted toward a daytime activity pattern that tracked their owners' schedules, while cats with free outdoor access kept a much more nocturnal rhythm. It was a small study, so hold it loosely, but it lines up with what almost every owner notices: a cat who lives in your rhythm gradually adopts it. That matters for a simple reason. If your cat's schedule is built around yours, then your schedule is part of their baseline. What to do? Protect the rhythm. Wildly irregular bedtimes or a cat evicted from the bed 3 nights out of 7 make it much harder to notice when a real change happens, as because everything already looks like a change. 6. Why is my older cat suddenly restless or yowling at night? If your cat is over about 7 and has started pacing at 3 in the morning or crying out in the dark when they never used to, please don't file that under getting old and annoying. Cornell's Feline Health Center is explicit about this. Nighttime vocalizing is relatively common in cats with hyperthyroidism and in cats with hypertension. And hypertension can cause retinal detachment and sudden blindness, which brings its own confusion and anxiety. Feline cognitive dysfunction, the closest thing cats have to dementia, also disrupts the sleep-wake cycle and produces disoriented nighttime calling. Every one of those is either treatable or manageable, and all of them are far better caught early. What to do? Don't punish night vocalizing, and don't shut it behind a door and call it solved. Write down when it happens and what comes with it. Appetite, thirst, weight, litter box changes, and take that list to your vet. That history is often what points them at the right test. 7. Why did my cat suddenly stop sleeping with me? And now the one that hurts. For years, she slept against your back. Now she sleeps in the other room. Nothing else has changed. And you've quietly decided she's gone off you. Rule things out in this order. Physical first, always. Pain, dental disease, kidney trouble, and arthritis, which is the quiet one. Degenerative joint disease is common in older cats and easy to miss because a cat who can no longer jump onto a high bed without pain doesn't complain. They simply stop trying. You read rejection, it was a staircase, they couldn't climb anymore. One owner mentioned almost in passing that her cat had stopped sleeping with her. No other symptoms. Eating normally. Blood work found early kidney disease, caught in time entirely because one habit broke. Environmental second, a new pet, a new partner, a baby, furniture moved. Something trivial to you can redraw the whole map for them. Emotional third, cats avoid places that have stopped feeling predictable. A slammed door, an argument, one bad night in that room. And one more thing, because it needs saying, some cats simply aren't bed sleepers. If yours has never slept on you, has never asked for your lap, and is otherwise eating, playing, and using the litter box normally, that's a personality, not a failure. Plenty of the most devoted cats show it from 3 feet away. What to do? Vet first, always. Rule out pain before you rule out anything else. Then rebuild without forcing it. Never carry them back to the bed. You can't carry a cat into feeling safe. Put a stool or a ramp beside it so the climb stops hurting. Feed near it. Play near it. Make the room boring and predictable again and let them choose it. So your cat's sleep isn't a code to crack. It's a baseline. And once you know theirs, you're the first person who'll notice when it shifts. That's not a small thing. It's the difference between catching something early and finding out late. Tonight, just look, where do they settle and how? That's your starting point. And I'd like to know, has your cat's sleeping habit ever changed on you? And did it turn out to mean something? Tell me in the comments because those stories help other owners more than anything I can say. If this was useful, subscribe. I make these every week for people who'd rather understand their cat than guess.